step into the opulent world of 18th century Hyderabad, a city shimmering with jewels, power, and secrets. In its heart stood the magnificent British Residency, home to James Achilles Kirkpatrick, the dashing and ambitious British resident. But beyond the grand halls and political maneuvers, a story of forbidden love was about to unfold, one that would shake the very foundations of two empires. Imagine the bustling streets, the scent of jasmine and spices in the air. This was the world of Khair-un-Nissa, the most excellent among women. She was a noble woman of Persian descent, her family deeply connected to the court of the Nizam of Hyderabad. Barely a teenager, she lived a sheltered life behind the purdah, her world confined to the zanana, the women's quarters of her family's home. But from behind the veil, she caught a glimpse of the charismatic British resident, and in that moment, destiny was set in motion. James Kirkpatrick was no ordinary colonial official. He had embraced Indian culture with a passion that both fascinated and worried his superiors. He spoke fluent Persian and Hindustani, wore local attire, and even adopted the title Hashmat Jang, meaning glorious in battle. He was a man caught between two worlds, representing the British crown, while his heart was increasingly drawn to the soul of India. The first whispers of their connection were like ripples in a still pond. Secret meetings were arranged, facilitated by Khair-un-Nissa's own mother, a daring move in a society where the honor of a noble family was paramount. James, utterly captivated by Khair-un-Nissa's intelligence and beauty, began a passionate correspondence. Their letters, filled with poetic declarations of love, were ferried back and forth under the cloak of secrecy. He called her his lovely and beloved friend, his soulmate. She saw in him a world beyond the confines of her gilded cage. But secrets in a royal court have a short lifespan. Soon, the whispers grew into a storm of rumors that swept through the palace corridors. The idea of a high-born Muslim noblewoman consorting with a British infidel was scandalous, an affront to tradition and social order. Khair-un-Nissa's family, particularly her powerful grandfather, the Prime Minister's aide, was furious. They saw the relationship not as a romance, but as a stain on their honor, a betrayal of their heritage. The pressure on the young couple was immense. The disapproval wasn't just on one side. Back in Calcutta, the headquarters of the East India Company, James's superiors were growing deeply suspicious. Governor-General Lord Wellesley was a staunch imperialist who believed in British superiority. He saw James's going native as a dangerous and unprofessional lapse in judgment. The British were in Hyderabad to project power and control, not to get entangled in local romances. The relationship was viewed as a political liability, a weakness that could undermine British authority. James was walking a tightrope, his career and reputation hanging by a thread. Torn between his duty to the company and his love for Khair-un-Nissa, James made a bold and unprecedented choice. He decided to formalize their union. In a secret ceremony, he converted to Islam and married Khair-un-Nissa, according to Muslim rites. He was given the name Shamsu-Della, and she became his wife. For a brief moment, their love had triumphed. They moved into the residency, where James built a special zanana for his bride, a beautiful space known as the Rang Mahal. or palace of colors. Life within the residency was a unique blend of cultures. James and Khair-un-Nissa had 2 children, a son named Mir Ghulam Ali Sahib Alam, and a daughter named Nur-e-Nissa Sahib Begum. They were raised as Muslims, speaking Persian and Hindustani, living proof of their parents' unconventional bond. James, for his part, tried to navigate the treacherous political waters, assuring his superiors that his marriage was a private matter that didn't interfere with his duties. But the outside world refused to leave them in peace. The scandal reached its peak. The East India Company launched an official investigation into James's conduct. He was accused of using his position to coerce Khair-un-Nissa and of bringing disgrace upon the British name. The diplomatic tension was palpable. James was forced to defend his actions, writing desperate letters to his superiors, pleading his case, and trying to protect his family from the fallout. For Khair-un-Nissa, the marriage brought a different kind of pain. While she had found love, she was also plunged into a profound state of isolation. She was ostracized by her own community, seen as a woman who had abandoned her culture for a foreigner. Inside the residency, she was the wife of the most powerful Briton in Hyderabad, but outside its walls, she was a pariah. The shame and prejudice weighed heavily on her. She was caught in a lonely no-man's land, belonging fully to neither the Indian nor the British world. Their love story, born in secret and defiant in its existence, was tragically cut short. In 1805, while on a diplomatic mission to Calcutta, James Achilles Kirkpatrick fell gravely ill and died, likely from a fever. He was only 41 years old. His death left Khair-un-Nissa a widow at just 20, with 2 young children. The aftermath was heartbreaking. Fearing for their future in a prejudiced society, James had arranged for his children to be sent to England to be raised by his family. They were given new English names, William George and Catherine Aurora Kirkpatrick. They were baptized as Christians and brought up as proper English gentlefolk, their Indian heritage all but erased. They would never see their mother again. Khair-un-Nissa was left alone in Hyderabad, her heart broken, her children gone forever. She lived out the rest of her days in obscurity, a ghost in the city where she was once a celebrated beauty. She died just a few years later, at the tender age of 27, a victim of a broken heart and a world that could not accept her choices. The story of James and Khair-un-Nissa is more than just a forgotten romance. It's a powerful and poignant tale of love standing against the immense pressures of politics, prejudice, and empire. It reveals the human cost of colonial encounters, where personal lives were often crushed under the weight of political ambition and cultural clashes. Their forbidden marriage exposed the deep-seated intolerance of both societies, and their tragic end serves as a timeless reminder of the enduring power of love and the devastating consequences of a world not yet ready for it. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. If you found this story as captivating as we did, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the hidden corners of history. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, Stay curious.